Zaldrizes buzdaris gosdau.
With the exciting news of Aegon the Conqueror getting a movie and potentially TV series that ties directly into the movie, I decided to ransack all of my past DMs over the last several years over on Twitter. Please go follow me at Sir_Hunts. Also on Instagram at Sir_Hunts_reviews. But I decided to peruse through that and pick and choose some of the many different, leaks that have been sent through the years that kind of suggests what this series could potentially be. Because knowing how, source material is often translated differently on screen, like there's certain characters and moments that are interpreted by the readers by a certain way, but then when they're adapted by writers for TV show, a lot of the times the writers will add a twist to it or put their interpretation to it or just change it entirely. So that's why I wanted to make this video. I'm going to talk about 4 different things that could potentially happen with this Aegon series. Please slap a like on this video, and also go check out the video that I just put out last night when the news first dropped. In that video, I sort of give my ideas about what I think of this new Aegon the Conqueror series. Please slap a like on this video. Like goal is going to be 420, and then also make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications all the way on. Okay, now the first bit of a plot leak is kind of controversial, right? This came out last year. There were several different people that had mentioned it online, specifically on the Free Folk subreddit. But apparently, according to this person, in this new Aegon series, Aegon is a drunken. Like, basically, he's tormented in his dreams. He's a dreamer. And he kind of just sort of falls into... Sorry, it's just really funny the way it's worded. He sort of just falls into the role of conquering. His advisors, and more specifically his sisters, are the ones who do most of the legwork. And this version of Aegon occasionally will fly into battle to do things like burn Harrenhal, or the Field of Fire when, him and his sisters basically roast an entire field of their enemies, right? So Aegon kind of sits back, and I guess the pitch was that most of the people around him did these great deeds, and Aegon sort of gets the blame for all that. Like, he gets credit for doing all of these insane things and unifying all of these 7 petty kingdoms into one, right? Even though Dorne doesn't come into the fold later, but basically in this interpretation, this iteration of Aegon, he just sort of sits back and lets everybody else, like, he surrounds himself by smart people, so he's kind of like a Elon Musk. So let me know what you think about that down below in the comment section. The next sort of little plot leak or plot summary is mentioned. The person says that the movie is going to be about the conquest. So the movie that comes out will be mostly showing what happens with Aegon conquering Westeros, but there'll be a time jump, and it'll tie into the TV miniseries, which is going to be called The Black Brides. So it'll mainly be focusing on Maegor the Cruel, who's not a direct king after Aegon. There's actually Maegor's brother Aenys who rules for quite some time. But it's actually really interesting because Maegor seems so qualified. He doesn't become the cruel until he starts doing insanely cruel deeds. Like when he's younger, he's given a sword and then he cuts a cat in half. But that was just a little bit of roid rage. If you want to know more about Maegor the Cruel, check the link down below in the description, or go to the YouTube search bar and type in Sir Hunt's Maegor the Cruel. I just did a really long live stream on him just last month. Basically, this person was saying that the show would tie into basically telling the Black Brides of Maegor. So there'll be a few time jumps in the movie, and we'll potentially see Maegor as a kid, and then the series will pick up with him when he finally sort of steals the reins from Aegon the Uncrowned. Now, the next bit of leaked information, this is the most exciting, right? Like, this, I feel like, is the most legitimate as well, right? This person mentions that HBO's plan is to tell the entire story of the Targaryen era from start to finish. And they mentioned that House of the Dragon Season 1 proved that any era of Targaryens will be popular, but the dragon stuff will always sell. So, white-haired, beautiful-looking people will be popular, but ultimately the time period surrounding their dragons is going to be the most like popular TV-wise. So they do eventually, this person, at least according to this person, mentions that they do eventually plan on telling the entirety, so we'll get, a Blackfire Rebellion. There's several of those, and then also Robert's Rebellion. Potentially, a lot of the Blackfire stuff will tie into the Dunk and Egg series that they have coming out. Ultimately, we may get a Doom of Valyria show that's just really expensive. They kind of need to make some money for it. But I don't know. That's really exciting in my opinion. It actually makes the most sense. Of course, HBO sees that Targaryens are extremely popular. And, I did see a lot of rhetoric of people saying online, like, yo, what is with all these Targaryen stuff? There's so much more interesting houses, like House Stark and House Baratheon, or you could tell the story of, like, all these different mini plots that happen in the main series, right? My whole point is in Game of Thrones, the TV show, and then in the A Song of Ice and Fire books, it's all about the Starks right now. The Lannisters as well, the Baratheons, right? But mostly, the Targaryens are dwindled down to just Daenerys and Jon Snow. So I'm actually really excited that, we're going to get to see the Targaryens are sort of in the spotlight because they're the most interesting. They're the most well thought out house in the sense that George has written the most canon source material for House Targaryen. So, of course, their story is going to be the one that we get to see the most complete version of on screen, aside from the Starks for the original series. Alright, now this seems like a good point to wrap this video up. I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please slap a like on this video. Like goal is going to be 420. And also, thank you for watching. And consider checking out my Patreon over on patreon.com/HerHuntsReviews. Big shout out to my executive producers. They are The North Must Remember, Breanne Johnson, and Tyler Schnabel. Thank you for watching. Long night,